Hi guys, my name is Megan and today I've got my July wrap up for you. Alright, so July has actually been a pretty decent reading month. I wasn't sure how this month was actually going to go reading wise. I'm taking a little bit of a vacation this month. I'm so happy. I've only missed about a week and a half in advance of when this is actually going up. So I might have some extra updates thrown in throughout this. So let's go ahead and dive into what I read this month. Okay, so the first book that I finished this month was one of my ebooks, and that was Boss Kisses. This was actually really sweet for like an office romance book, which I found that office romances aren't necessarily something that I gravitate towards anymore. They're just not really my style, but this one was really cute, and this one actually had a really good conversation about gender and gender presentation and how you present yourself to the world, but I wish it had gone more in depth. This one got a 3.5 out of 5 stars from me. Okay, so the next book that I finished this month was Fence Striking Distance. This was so good, and there are a lot of criticisms with this book because it feels a lot like some of the characters are, you know, like they're out of character, like between the graphic novels and the actual book. And yes, I did see quite a bit of that, but I also really enjoyed getting to see more of these characters in depth. I liked seeing their thought processes, and I liked getting to see their backgrounds and, you know, what their home life is like. And I really enjoyed this. It was just so cute. It made me realize that I love these stupid boys so much more than I ever thought I could, because let's be real, they're all a little bit dumb and in love with each other and pining, and I love them to pieces. So this got a solid 4.5 out of 5 stars. Would highly recommend if you read the Fence graphic novels already, dive into this. It's so good. Just be aware that some of the characters feel out of character. Okay, so next up, I finished the audiobook for Raybearer. Oh my god, it was so good. Like, I've been listening to it for like a month and a half because I had been only reading or listening to it on my walks around the neighborhood every day and occasionally in the car, like on longer car drives when I'm by myself. Oh my god, it was so freaking amazing, and now I want the audiobook for the next book. It was so good. I would highly recommend reading it. It's such a good book. The storytelling is amazing, and especially if you're listening to it, it feels very much like an old story being told to you. It was so good, and I cannot wait for the next one. This got a solid 5 out of 5 stars. Do yourself a favor if you haven't read it and read it. It's so good. So next up we got to my comic books that I read this month. So I read issue 3, 4, 5, and 6 of the Steel Prince comics. These were pretty decent. So we'll start off with issue 3. So this is probably my least favorite out of this particular set that I read. This one got a 3 out of 5 stars. Issue 4 was pretty decent. This is the end to the first arc of the Steel Prince comics. This was a pretty decent way to end the arc. This one got a 3.5 out of 5 stars. So issue 5, this is starting off the Knight of Knives arc. This was a pretty okay. It wasn't my favorite, but it was also, you know, kickstarting a new chapter in this story. This got a solid 3.5 out of 5 stars. And then issue 6, this is probably my favorite issue so far. This one got a 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked this one because we got some like history of Arns in there. We got history of how the Knight of Knives works, and that there was an Antari involved in it. And I really like seeing the magic in this universe in the comic form, because it's not exactly how I pictured things working in the Shades of Magic universe, but it's so interesting to see it like illustrated. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but it was interesting. This one got a solid 4 to 5 stars. Okay, and the last book that I finished as of filming this is The Friend Scheme. Oh my god, this book gave me such mixed feelings. So on the one hand, I really loved the story and I really enjoyed it, but on the other hand, I wanted so much more from this book. So I think the synopsis sets up this book to have like an expectation of something that it doesn't necessarily have. And while I really did love this book has some pretty big problems, at least for me. Number one of my problems that I have with this book is the amount of gaslighting that happens in this book. So this is kind of supposed to be like a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but with 2 male characters. And they are rival mafia boss sons, and things definitely don't go the way that I thought they would. But the one character, Jason, tries to gaslight Matt into telling him about his family and like the family business and, you know, try to give away secrets and that kind of stuff. And it got to the point where I was like, it needs to stop. There's also a ton of little plot holes that really bothered me that didn't get explained by the end of the book. I feel like if this book was maybe another 50 pages long, those plot holes could have been fixed. But otherwise, I enjoyed this because Matt was just so anxious. He's like a little anxious ball of fluff that needs to be protected at all times. Jason was a decent character. I liked the social media, like pop culture references, but I feel like those could probably be outdated in 5 years. I don't think this book will hold up super well over time. Let's see, there is also Luke, who is the older brother in this, and he is just adorable and like, he's super precious and he loves his baby brother Matt and he would protect him with his life, and I loved that. But I think overall, I really am struggling to give this book over a 3.25 stars just because there was a lot of things wrong with it, but I did really, really enjoy it. So this is one that you should read and let me know your opinions on it. All right, so the book that I'm currently reading as of filming this video is The House in the Cerulean Sea. I am loving this so far. It's giving me Studio Ghibli vibes mixed with like Tim Burton. That's a weird combination, but it totally works for this book. I can totally picture everything that's going on in this book so far with that Tim Burton-esque thing going on, but also like a Studio Ghibli. That might be a weird aesthetic, but that's what I'm getting so far and I love it. And like I said, I am going on vacation at the end of this month, so this one will be coming on vacation with me. And I think I'm gonna try to slip in All Systems Red on vacation as well. And if you guys didn't know, I got this one in a recent book haul video, which I will leave linked up above. And then the last book that I was gonna try to fit in this month was Boyfriend Material. This one I think I'm gonna put on hold until maybe the end of summer, like into into September. All right, so that is everything that I read in July. I think my favorite book, that's really hard to pick. I loved all of them to a degree. I think my favorite would have to be Fence at this particular moment, followed closely, very, very closely by House in the Cerulean Sea. All right, so what did you guys read this month? Did you have a favorite book? Let me know down below. If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't already but would like to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys.